Here we are in Photoshop, and we're going to do some really basic things here. The first thing I want to show you is the layers panel over here. And all of this artwork, all this clip art is on different layers. I turn them on and off with this eye. And what I like to think how Photoshop relates to printing is each one of these elements is different, and the background is like the paper. So if I took this paper layer, I could put it on top of all of that clip art. The clip art is still there, there's just a sheet of paper laying on top of it. So I'm going to bring that back down. And here in Photoshop we also have some tools here on the left side. So these tools are going to help us put together this logo. And if I hover over the tools, it gives us this shortcut key. This is the Move tool, and on the keyboard, if you just go hit V, it will take you to that Move tool. So let's start to move around some of this clip art. I want to go to my font here, and once I click on that, it selects that Rythmo layer, and I'm going to move that down here. Just click and drag it, and we have this bounding box here, and I want to change the size of my text, so I can just grab any little square, a little triangle or square here, and make that text bigger or smaller. So my design so far, I think that this sound wave layer here and the text kind of clash a little bit, so I want to do a separation here, just a design to make it look better. So I'm going to go to my Rythmo text layer, and I'm going to double click and open up a layer style, and I'm going to add a drop shadow to this. And I already had this set up before for a white drop shadow. If I click right here, you can see that my drop shadow is set to white, but I think in Photoshop the default is probably black, and it's probably has some distance on it, some spread on it, and the size might be different. So you can see here my text is black and I have a black drop shadow, but I want to change that to white. So just click with the color picker, drag up to the white. All F's are white. So I have a cool drop shadow here now. But we have, in our drop shadow, we have tone. So we have black, and then we have some gray tones and lighter gray tones, almost fading into white. And in order to print that on offset lithography or in screen printing, we have to use a halftone screen to get that those varying tones. So this would be dots that are so close together that it makes a solid color, and these would be medium-sized dots and smaller dots to get that gradient, that tone. And for this first assignment, printing on Little Ricky, we just want two solid colors. We don't want to really deal with this halftone screen yet. We will get into that later in the semester. So I'm going to go back to my layer style, and what I want to do, I'm going to click here. I want to center this, and I want to make it solid. Make the size, sorry, we'll center that. Make it solid, and then I'll let you decide, you know, how much of a drop shadow you want on there. And you're certainly welcome to design this your own way. If you want to follow this video, just follow the video and do it exactly like I did here, and you'll get full credit Certainly if you're accustomed to Photoshop, do your own creative thing and make it your own design. You can add elements to this, subtract elements from this, or create your own design altogether. So we have some good separation there. Our design looks better. So let's add our headphones. If I come up here with our selection tool, I can just select that, drag it down here, and grab one of the boxes to make this bigger. So with our layers here, I have my headphones that are on top of my text. And I don't necessarily want that. I want the headphones to be below the text, so I simply come over here and I'll grab that headphone and I will drag it below the text, and now it's sandwiched in between. So I have my wave on the back, like printed on the paper, I would say, and then between the font and the wave we have the headphones, and you can kind of see that it's set up in that layer. There's also some tools over here like the magnifier, the zoom tool. I can click on that. If I click on my document, I can drag the mouse to the right, drag the mouse to the left. Helps you navigate around really quick. There's also the space bar, and I like to use the space bar as the hand tool, and you can click and drag around your document. And these also have shortcut keys. I hover over that zoom tool. It gives us the zoom tool, and the shortcut key on the keyboard is Z. So if I were on a different tool and I wanted to zoom, I would just hit the Z key and bring me right to that tool. It takes a little while to memorize what those shortcut keys are, so having the toolbar over here is helpful for when you're starting out. Okay, so we have a good start here on our two-color design, but we're only one color so far. So what I want to do is add blue to this, and the customer has Pantone 3005 uncoded, that Pantone color. And so I want to add some color to this, and you could add it to the font if you want. You could add it to the headphones, but I'm going to add it to our sound wave here. So I'm going to go to that sound wave layer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off these layers. And then I'm going to brush, use a brush and paint some of these sound waves blue. So I'm going to go to the selection, this tool here, the magic wand, a selection tool, and I'm going to click on the paper. And what that did is it selected the paper and made a selection around all of our design here. And I've also, on that layer, I have the hex code that is pretty comparable to our Pantone color of 3005. So on my Mac here, I'm going to double click on here. I'm going to copy that hex code. And on my Mac, I hit Command C for copy, Control C if you're on a PC. So I copied that hex layer, and I'm going to come over here to the color picker. And the color picker, I already have it here, but I'm going to select that and Command V as in Victor, Command V and paste. And that pasted that hex code there. So it matches our Pantone book. I'm going to hit OK. And now I want to brush some of this sound wave. So I'm going to come over here to the brush tool. And you have some brush settings up here. And again, we don't want to use a halftone screen. So you might want to drag the hardness to 100% so it just paints a solid line. But in this case, I painted the paper and not the sound wave, so I need to inverse my selection. But I don't want this paint line to be there, so in Photoshop I'm going to hit Command Z to take us back a step. And I'm going to come up here to select, and I'm going to deselect, or inverse the selection. So it's switched it around, so now my sound wave is selected, and I have that brush, and I'm going to paint this in. And now I have a two-color design, and I still have these marching ants, so I can go up to select and deselect that. Here, deselect, also the shortcut key Command D. So now I have two-color design. If I can add those back into place, I'm going to hit the Z key, zoom out, and here is our two-color design. But I want to now do color separations. So when we printed on Little Ricky and I did the demo, we had a printing plate of just the blue and we had a printing plate of just the black. So we need to separate our sound wave. So with all of our layers on, I'm going to select the sound wave. And the way I do this is I come up to select, color range, and you can see that the blue is selected. So if I take my color picker here and I click on the blue, you can see here that that is what it's going to select. If I were to click on the black, you can see all the black in here is selected. So now that I have black separated here, I'm going to hit OK. And you can see now that it has selected everything that's black in the image that we have here. So I want to create a new layer of this, so I can go to Layer and go to New Layer and go to Layer via Copy, which is shortcut Command or Control J. Click on that, and what that did is create a new layer here, Layer 1. So if I turn the sound wave off, I have a black. Nothing but the black shows up. So if I were to print on our laser printer the printing plates for Little Ricky, I'm going to go here, go to Print, and you can see our plate will be all just the black. And the laser printer is going to put this toner down on the plate, and that toner is the oil in the oil and water don't mix lithography printing method. So we have the black separated, but now we need to separate the blue. So with that layer turned back on, I'm going to go up to Select again and go to Color Range. This time with my color picker, I'm going to click on the blue, and you can see here we have a knockout, which we need for printing. This particular design needs a knockout, and I'm going to hit OK, and now all the blue is selected. And I'm going to do the shortcut key Command J, and I'm going to go back here again. Sorry, I had the wrong thing selected. I'm going to do this again. Here I am on the wave. Select, color range. Okay, we got the right selection. Command J. We don't need layer 2 anymore. I accidentally created that. Drag that to the trash. So now layer 3 is the blue layer. So I can turn off the black layer here, and I have the blue with the knockout and the black, and we have the headphones and the font. So now we can print separations on the plates for Little Ricky, and you're welcome to create it just like this for screen print, because we got the screen printing registration marks, and we'll also print this for Little Ricky. So now that you have this completed, what I want you to do is go to File, Save As, and right now we have it as Rythmo Logo. What I want you to do is put your name here and save it to wherever it's convenient for you to find. I'm going to use the desktop. And here is that document I just saved. And this Photoshop file is what I want you to submit to Canvas. And then we will print this 4-up on a sheet of paper. So if you design yours differently, we'll still be able to print it as a team. So we just won't be able to screen print it as a team, because we're just going to print 1-up t-shirt, but 4-up on Little Ricky. So be creative with this. If this video is too simple and you have Photoshop skills, improve on this, or you're welcome to design your own Rythmo logo. And so that's the end of the video, and thanks for watching.